What's up, everybody? Welcome back, and how about, that was a hell of a night last night, I must say. Stand and Deliver definitely lived up to everything we thought it was going to be on night one. But again, is anyone surprised? It is a takeover. They're pretty good at putting those together. Just saying. They're actually really good at them. And Nita Strauss on there killing it on the guitar. Like we've seen her do Shinsuke stuff. We've seen her do all kinds of. I don't know why she doesn't just open up all of them. Then there's a pay per view or takeover. They should get Nita out there. She's good at it, and it's amazing. And I've seen her do it live, which is amazing. So I'm just a fan of her. I saw her first perform years ago with Alice Cooper. I was like, yeah. Lots of yeah. And I will give a shout out to see, it was still the same, like staging and all, like basically, but having that big skull and the swords and all that, it was nice to see, something different. There's too many times they don't. Like they got away from it for a very long time. That was one of my favorite things growing up as a kid. See what the stage was going to look like. And there's King of the Ring, SummerSlams. All these different Hell in a Cell, Armageddon, No Mercy. There are so many cool things they used to do every time. I'd love to see the warehouse where they're all stored and just to look at it, but that's just another thing. Let's get into the action. Pete Dunne and Kushida, exactly what we thought it was going to be. They were just so back and forth. They're striking, submissions, actual wrestling. Counters. They were all over the place doing all kinds of stuff, and it was, glorious. And again, it had a great chance to steal the show, but there were so many good matches. Literally. There was just so much, and they were all good. Regardless of how you liked, if you liked the outcomes of any of the matches or not, they were all so good. And these two, I was glad, though, because we all know what Pete Dunne could do. He's had, more opportunities. He's been the man. We've seen him do all kinds of things. So, I wasn't really surprised by that. I wasn't surprised by Kushida either. But to see him finally get to have a match with, someone, up there caliber of Pete Dunne, and to actually just go and do his thing. Because, it's been such a weird ride for Kushida there in NXT. And then he finally did, since he's come back with his new attitude, it has been going, better, but still, you don't get to see him that much. You don't get to see what he could do that much. And, I just thought, it was glorious. Pete Dunne did get the victory in the end, but those two going back between their submissions and the joint manipulations and just striking just the hell out of each other. That was a great match. It was just as good as we all thought it was going to be. If you didn't go in there thinking that those guys were going to tear the house down, you were out of your mind. But there's something wrong with you. But that was just great. That was glorious. Everything that you'd want in a match. I don't do ratings, stars wise, but that was just so good. And again, to finally see Kushida get a chance to show what he can actually do, because we all know what he can do. Everyone knows what he can do. They wouldn't have signed him if he wasn't good. Especially nowadays. They got him, and hopefully they give him more opportunities to keep doing stuff like that. Who knows what they're going to do with Pete Dunne, too. He won that. Is he going to stay down there? Could he move to the main roster? Who knows? It's WrestleMania weekend. All kinds of crazy stuff happens. But that was, to start out, we go from Nita Strauss to that. Well, that was a way to kick off the show. Gets even more exciting for, night two. But after that match is over, we got to the six-man gauntlet eliminator for a number one contendership for Gargano's North American Championship. And we came back from commercial, started with Leon Ruff and Swerve. And those two were putting it together, too. And all the athletic stuff that, Leon can do is amazing. Can't take that away from it. That stuff is just, he's really good. With the athletic stuff he can do, which helps, with his size. He's always going to give up size, but, so he makes up for it, and all the stuff that he does just to accentuate and make it look better. Which is what you have to do. Accentuate what you got. And he's really good. Just to even be here with his size, tells you how good he is. Which is just an amazing thing. The twisting diving cutter off the announce table by Ruff, that was like RKO out of nowhere level stuff for me, which was great. And Leon again, reversing power bombs off the top ropes, all kinds of cool stuff. I really, I mean, like again, I like Swerve. Since they turned him heel, I love the character. I love what they're doing with him. And he's getting better every time you see it. Like he's getting better at it. From being where he was and getting all those chances and coming up short. I mean, obviously, it's going to take time to get those things, and build it. So I'm okay with all that. I mean, I like the way it's going. Then Bronson Reed enters the match. That super three-person like German there. I mean, you see everyone, but that looked glorious. Looks really, really, really great. And I like Bronson, what they've been doing with him. If they keep it going in one direction, he stays healthy. Can't wait to see. Cameron Grimes, I hate him. We all know I hate him, but he entered the match. Paid off Swerve, which later on night you get to see the real Swerve. Loomis comes out, and Swerve immediately eliminates. He gets rough, eliminates him. So I don't think that one's over yet, which I'm okay with because I think they put on great matches. I think they're going to keep doing that. We'll see. We'll hope. And then Loomis in that amazing, clothesline over the top rope looked like he landed funny. I mean, his foot was caught up there, so he didn't go over completely like he wanted to, but it looked good. Bronson Reed, does us all a favor too. Bronson shutting up LA Knight because, he can't talk. I'll give him that, but you always want to see the guy shut him up. And he did as he was on his way to the ring. Sadly, though, LA Knight eliminates Loomis, which I guess apparently they're going to drag that out. Because then they had Loomis immediately, standing out there just, after he got eliminated. And we get to see Bronson eliminate LA Knight, and Loomis puts him out, chokes him out outside the ring there. So that's going to lead to something, apparently, which, again, I'm not saying anything bad about that. I'm okay with that. Loomis, he's hitting his stride here. And yes, I was wrong. I just figured all the stuff with Theory and all them, it would have led to that. I was wrong. As I was. I'll take the hit for being wrong on that one. Before Loomis put out LA Knight, it was nice to see everyone get to do, their thing. Get to hit a move and do the three, to get out a normal-sized person. Because normally you see everyone, do their signature or do something when they're trying to eliminate someone like a Bronson Reed and of that size. And they had them do it to LA Knight. Not the big giant guy that everyone's trying to get out of the match. So, I appreciated that because you just normally, again, it's always going after, the Strowmans or when the Big Show is around or the Brocks or, whenever there's some of those, Kane, when Mark Henry when he was around. There's a lot of guys, but the big guys always are the ones that everyone teams up on, and this time it went to LA Knight, which I liked. And then I got to see Swerve eliminate Cameron Grimes, which always makes me smile. Sorry, I just don't like him. I never will. I don't know what it is. Who knows what it is, but, I'll just never like him. Ever. And then we have seen Swerve and Bronson have the other things in the past, and, Bronson got the win, so he's going to have the match, and he had to stare down with Gargano, and I think it's going to be a great one. I'd like to see them pull the trigger with that, see what Bronson can do, maybe move, Johnny to, this is, see you later, bye moment, but to the main roster, but we'll see. Either way, Bronson won. It was, they put on a hell of a show, and it went on for a while. It was the whole night. It was high caliber. And we got to see some stuff, again. You have to see Swerve and Ruff. They're probably going to keep going. That's why they had them start out. They have, for this long. And then they had that go that way. That can continue to, bigger and better things. LA Knight and Loomis, that's set up. And then Swerve and Bronson, Swerve, but don't forget, Swerve also, after he took the money from Cameron Grimes, did pull the Swerve and pin him and eliminate him after he took the money. So that could turn into something there with those two also. And Leon can move on to something else. Move on, you never know. But that him taking the money from him and then turning on him, that could lead to something big between the two of them. And I think that would be, I don't like them, but I think that'd be a great match. I think that they could do it really something special together. Because they both have talent. I'm not going to take it away from them just because I don't like them. I just look at them, but, I think it could be something really, really good. And then, yes, we'll see. I'm excited for it. Again, it was nothing. Besides the weird clothesline over the top rope where Loomis's foot caught up out there and he went down. It was great. Even with that, who cares? Like things like that happen all the time. That was a great match, which led us into Walter, who's had 2 year 2 day reign at that point, which is now farther. And granted, there was COVID to drag it on, but a lot of those months. But him and Ciampa went at it, and they just, well, a big boot from Walter to Ciampa, the first one, like, and you see just stuff flying. I'm guessing it was spit, as we didn't see any blood, so it wasn't teeth, but I ended that boot connect. And they tore the place down. Like, again, I don't see a lot of Walter matches, so I didn't know what to expect, but that was great. Like, I loved every second. Him going after Ciampa's arm, Ciampa going after his hand, especially after Walter chopped right through the takeover thing on top of the announce table. Played the hand thing so well, took away all his offense. You're looking at Ciampa doing things to someone the size of Walter. Like, they did such a good match, and it shows just how good they both are. So I will give Walter that as I've never been known to say very many nice things. He did that, and no one got involved, which is the best part. They just let them go and do their thing. So it makes me wonder what they're going to do with all that, later, as Imperium didn't get involved. The rest of the guys still haven't seen Thatcher. What that's going to do. But that was a hell of a match, too. That was just, if you didn't watch night one, go back and do it. There's nothing you can complain about. And I really don't think that, anyone truly actually stole the show. Like, I think it was just great across the board. Like, again, it's Takeover. Everyone expects, it to be good. But that was a hell of a match. And, yes, Imperium was there to do their pose afterwards. And, Wolf was back on the side. So they were all there in total. But, man, that was a good match. And Ciampa proved that he can go with anybody. I don't know what it's going to mean for him, like, going forward. NXT, because we've heard him say his feelings towards going up to the main roster. He'd rather get used all the time down there than go up there. He'd rather retire than go up to the main roster. But if they're still going to be in that area, like, because of the Thunderdome and COVID, and they're going to have to keep doing it, like, maybe, because he doesn't have to do all the traveling, and then they can find a way to keep using him for a couple months. But I don't care. You gotta still see how it's going to work out with Thatcher. But that was a good match. Again, I really did expect there was. A lot of us probably expected there was going to be some kind of idiocy involved. There's that many guys with Imperium, the way they've been attacking them. And I was really happy to see that they let them go at it. And you could just see the welts across both. Those two were chopping and just beating the actual hell out of each other, which was just amazing. And lots of respect for both of them. Total. That was great. Got nothing bad to say about that. We got to the match for the NXT tag titles, which are vacant right now. MSK against Grizzled Young Veterans against Legado. And that one probably did actually was close to stealing the show. Like, those guys were just all over it. Told a great story, all the back and forth. I will say that Legado's double team, when Wild went through the ropes, corkscrewing, and Mendoza went off the top. That looked way better than MSK when he, reminiscent of the Hardy Boys. He got down, jumped over him, and looked like he was just falling through the air. So Legado's looked way, way better. But, those guys, all the strikes. And Wesley of MSK, like, his strikes looked, those were good. Those were spot on. The kicks were good. Everything. Like, his striking game is good compared to a lot of people that you see. You're all, yeah, right, sure, pal. It was great. What else is there to say? Those are three teams that have been in the, up there, and you don't get to see Legado the most, which, a lot. And Grizzled Young Veterans always, doing their team stuff. MSK, when they came in, took the Dusty Classic, took all that, we're on top of the world, but they only did that. Like, you see the other two with Escobar, on his side when he's doing his cruiserweight title matches, and again involved with, like, carrying cross and all that. So, you don't really get to see them doing, like, a lot of tag team stuff. They do some, but it's not nearly as much as, the other guys. Because, they're also there with, the cruiserweight champion, so there's other things for them to do. But I still think that one, if I was going to pick one, they were just all over the place. That was glorious. Again, though, I don't want to say it stole the show because it was just such a good night. And MSK finally got it, which, going into it is one of the, I didn't care who won, personally. And then by the end of the match, I really didn't care because they were doing it. But I mean, MSK had, they had the momentum. They threw him in there like they were talking him up so much before the Dusty Cup even, like the Classic, even started. They had them win it. Their first time beat, Chris young veterans who were in the finals for the second straight year. It makes me wonder what they're going to do with it next year. Then the injury, and they're supposed to go for it. Then the titles got vacated. I mean, it's one of those. The momentum was going on their side regardless. So I'm not surprised that they won. I'm not upset by it. I mean, any three of them after the match they had could have won that, and I would have been okay. I mean, it was that good of a match to me. I enjoyed every second of it. Like, it was amazing. I mean, to me, again, you can listen to this and tell me I'm an idiot. Comment away and tell me I'm an idiot. I'm okay with that. You will not hurt the very few feelings that I have. Or at least the very few ones I have left. But that was, I mean, got to see Regal too, which is always good to see William Regal. But I mean, they deserved it. And you could tell with the way they did with the Dusty Cup, that's what, I mean, they were going towards it anyway, and they were going to beat, I'm sure they were going to beat Oni and Danny anyway, like before the injury, and they had to drag it out. But when they drug it out, I mean, look what we got for it last night. Or if you watch it today, or if you watch it tomorrow, whenever the hell you watch it, we got just gold right there. Which led us to, Io defending against Raquel, who she picked. Dakota was there. Dakota, got involved. The ref caught her. She got thrown out, And those two were going at it. Now, when Io went for the, double knees, the running knees, like when they were on the outside, I mean, the ref seemed to be shaking Raquel's arm a lot. Like she wasn't responding. She was actually possibly out. I mean, normally it's like the poke, okay, you're good. I mean, that was a whole lot of, like, snap out of it, homie, are you good? Like, there was a lot of that. So, I don't know what was up there, but I mean, Io did the super crossbody off that giant, like, 20 or so foot skull, which I'm always fun, seeing people do stuff like that. I'm sure KO's going to do something like that at Mania. I'm sure it's going to get, like, it's bound to happen. Like, something's going to happen. And it was a good match for what, I mean, they made it a much better match than I thought it could be. Not happy with the outcome, but I've never been a Raquel fan, and I think that, I mean, there's people that have been around, like, that probably deserve, like, more deserving, that have more, like, mic skills and ring skills, they're just better at it, in general, they've earned their stuff, and I know, I mean, I just don't think Raquel's been around, like, in the main thing for long enough. I mean, like, and they literally just handed them the women's tag titles, and, like, now she gets this, so, I mean, I think she can go on a good run. She's going to keep getting better, obviously. And yes, I was an Io fan, but I just didn't. The only reason I'm against it, I just didn't think she was ready. She's been around doing enough yet. I mean, she's been on a hell of a run since before the War Games match. So I mean, she has been there doing the damn thing for a long time. So I'm not trying to take that away from her at all. She's been there. She's been doing it. So I mean, look what she did at War Games. I mean, she's been on a run. Before it, she did stuff during it. She got Rhea, which we all had a feeling was coming, so Rhea can move up. But, like, she did it. She's been dominant. I just don't think that it was, appropriate timing to give it to her. And, again, I'm biased. I'm an Io fan. So, but, again, the match was still better than I thought it was going to be. They got a lot done. I might not like the outcome, but it was still a good match. Was it the best of the night? No. But, I mean, look at the card and everything that we saw if you watched it. It was really, really hard to pick match of the night, which I still, and it depends on what you're into for that kind of stuff, too. Everyone has their different preferences, and they're different people, which is why, how they pick the match of the night. So, I mean, no matter what, no one's going to be happy you picked that, but that was a hell of a night. I was thoroughly enjoyed. Happy. Whatever. I was quite joyous of the proceedings and everything, the happenings, all the matches, like they put together a really, really, really good night. And it was nice to see Io and Raquel. Raquel now has her moment as champ. And they got to headline Takeover, night one, which was great. I mean, it was still a good match. Any one of those matches could have headlined it. So, but Raquel getting her moment, I see why they did it. So, and Io really, she's been like the constant there through all this. A lot of people have come and gone. Io's been there the whole time during all this COVID stuff. So, I'll give her that. And then, now we get into tonight. We got the women's tag title match. Ember and Shotzi defending against the Way. I hope Ember and Shotzi win, but again, I'm just a Shotzi fan over the Way. Over Candice and Indy, and Ember's different too. Like, they're not the normal, which is probably why I like them so much. And Yeah, as you see, Shotzi's right there. So, yeah, just a Shotzi fan. Maybe it's the tank thing. I don't know. But I think that could be a good match, depending. I think they're going to tell a great story, and it's on Peacock, all this, which means they'll have more leeway, I think, to do more things. Hopefully. I mean, obviously, why else would they have, a ladder match and an unsanctioned match, on there, not on the first night. So, gets us into the Cruiserweight Championship ladder match. I think they're going to put together something really good. I mean, I'm sure Legato's going to get involved somehow because they have to. They always do. It wouldn't make sense if they didn't, but they've been doing it the whole entire time. Why would they stop now? Doesn't make any sense for them to not somehow get involved, especially in a ladder match. But I think that one, just because it's a ladder match and who's involved, I think they could. That's going to be pretty close to stealing the show level, just because of what they can do and all the pieces that could be at play in it. Because I think there's just too much talent for it to not be really good, and they're, I just hope they don't get anything stupid in there. I know they're going to get involved, but hopefully it doesn't get too dumb. I think it could be one of the better ones, though. Just thinking of the two and the talent they have and what they could do, a ladder match, I mean, that could be just gold. Gargano defends against Bronson, which we found out. Again, it's Johnny Takeover. I mean, Shawn at WrestleMania, the match is going to be good. So, now that we know, and again, we got to see how they're going to play it all out. Cole and Kyle in an unsanctioned match, I think that'll be the one that, that's going to, I think they're going to let them just let her rip and beat each other senseless. Finally, we're to it, because I was, the fake arrests and all that dumb stuff. I don't know, maybe I'm just too old. Wasn't a fan of it. Never really. I mean, because it just doesn't look right anymore. I just don't think they pull that off as well. And then there's Finn and, Cross, which, with Scarlett there, which is always going to be fun, but that'll be a good one, too. I think that'll be a hell of a match. I think those guys are going to leave just battered. But we'll see. Now, prediction-wise, I don't want to see the Way get it, but so hopefully Ember and Shotzi. That's my prediction. They're going to defend. They better defend. Man, I'd be bummed if they don't. Escobar's been on such a run. The ladder match, I have to give it to him. I'd like to see Devlin do it, but I mean, and take out Escobar, his goons, all of that. But I don't know. I think he's been on such a tear. I have to give it to Escobar. I don't know. I don't want to, but we'll see. Hopefully I'm wrong. But I'm giving it to Escobar. Hopefully Bronson beats Gargano. I think, if they have all of the Way lose, I mean, they have fair. He loses the title. That gives him a good shot to, move up, and do that thing. But, give Bronson his moment. Give him the ball. See how he runs with it. I think it's a great opportunity to do that and give it to him, especially debuting on Tuesday. I just give him it. Give him the ball, see what he does. We all know what Johnny can do. He's already made. Let's go and try to make someone else and see what happens. So, I'm going to go with Bronson on that one. And again, hope that I'm not wrong. The sanction match has to go to Kyle. I mean, they've been building it for so long. I mean, and everything. And Roddy's in there. We haven't seen Bobby Fish. There's so much. I just hope Kyle gets it. They've been building him to be the guy for so long, with all the title matches and all the other stuff. It wouldn't make any sense for him to not win. But I think they're just going to. Hopefully, they let her rip, and then we get what we want to get out of that. God, I hope they do. Knowing my luck, they won't. But I can have a dream and I can hope. So hopefully they let him go. But I think Kyle's going to get that one, and then Finn versus Cross. I literally have nothing. I don't know. I don't think anyone that's watching this knows. Except people that actually listen to this and watch it. Yeah, I don't think anyone knows. I mean, what do they do with that? Cross is still undefeated. Do they have him get his first loss and then they can move him up to the main roster, or keep him down there? But do they have him get his first loss and then move up and let Finn stay down there and keep working with the younger guys and the younger talent? There's a lot of it down there. He can work with all kinds of people. Does he really want to go back to the main roster? That's a real one, because, I mean, he got that shot, shoulder got blown apart, and, when did he actually get a real shot after that? So I could see if he wanted to stay down there. Or do they have Finn give him, get beat? And does he just stay down there and keep working? Does he go back up again to the main roster? I don't know how they're going to do it. Are they going to keep Cross indestructible and undefeated, or are they going to have Finn, it's just, when you think in your head, are they going to have Cross lose for the first time and go up? Are they going to have Finn lose and then go up? Are they going to have, like, are they going to keep them down there? Like, there's so many, like, around everyone else, there's so many question marks about what would they do with all that. So I have no idea. I want to go with Finn winning and Cross getting moved up, just because the alternative, really, I just don't like it, because what are they going to do with Finn? Like, we all saw what they did with him after he came back. Wasn't his fault he got hurt. Popped his shoulder back in, finished the match, and still he like never had a shot after that. So I mean, I'd like to see Finn stay down there and keep working with people, because there's a lot of younger people down there, and like the main event scene, really up on the main roster, it's all filled up with behemoths and all that. So, and tomorrow's the night after WrestleMania. Tomorrow, yeah. See, I'm all over the place. Monday though, it's coming, and look at the stuff that happens the Monday after Mania. There's going to be people showing back up that we haven't seen in forever and all that, which means it's just going to make the main event picture even bigger. So. Like, I'd like to say Finn's going to win. And then Cross can go up there and he could, like, play a role in that. I think he could be really good moving into that picture. Give him a shot, get him up there. I just don't want to see him go up there and get buried. So, I'm going to go with Finn. I think with the behemoths they have on the main roster in the main event thing, that Cross is a better fit. Just because we saw what they did with Finn in the main roster the first time. But you never know. I'm going with Finn, though. We'll see. I can't decide it. You know who's going to win? We are, as fans. Because I think they're going to just beat the hell out of each other. I think it's going to be one hell of a match. I really do. I love every second of it, and, I think it's going to be a good one. So, that said, hopefully you guys, tell me what you think about everything I said. My predictions, my everything. It's under all the same, Wrestling with Ski. The videos are on Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. The audio, only one, just the same show, just extracted from the video, is on Spotify, Anchor, Breaker, Pocket Cast, Radio Public, and Google Podcasts. The email is on the Facebook page here, so you can email me if you want to get in contact there. Or just make a post on the page, comment on the video somewhere. I see them all. I do look at them all. Tell me what you think. If you want to come on here and talk about stuff, we can do that. Love to get people on here and get more people involved in talking. But I think it was a great night last night, and I think tonight's going to be even better, especially the first ever strictly on Peacock thing for NXT. So really, at all for any of them, U.S. based. This is the first gusto of strictly Peacock. So let's see how it works out. Hopefully, it's not all laggy and stupid like the network always was to me, but we'll see. But I appreciate you guys giving me any time, because you don't have to. So like, share, comment, follow. If you have all those, any of those apps, that I mentioned or anywhere, whether you want to watch it, the video, or listen to it. If you follow along on whatever you have, that does help get it more out there, more followers, helps everyone. So hopefully you enjoyed night one. I think night two is going to be even better, and I'll be here tomorrow to talk about it. So enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy Takeover night 2, and until tomorrow, my friends, with more predictions and see how wrong I was by the results tonight. Peace.